So Minecraft has a lot of really cool mods in it. There's some really cool mods and some not so cool mods. But in this video, I'm going to go over some mods that have a lot of downloads and generally get a lot of praise, but personally I think are kind of overrated. But real quick before we start that, I want to give a quick disclaimer. You can skip this if you don't really care. I just want to say that this is all meant to just be for fun. If I did some mod that you really like, don't get too mad at me. It's not meant to be that serious. And disclaimer number 2, I am also an idiot. So if I complain about a feature within a mod that's like really easily solvable within the mod, I give you permission to call me an idiot in the comments. Alright, yapping over, let's start the actual video now. For the first mod of this video, I'm going to say Botania. I really do not like having to use this mod. It's a mod that's part of so many mod packs, especially magic ones. If you don't know what this mod is, basically it's a magic mod that uses plants. You have to use the plants to generate mana or you can do magic and stuff. That's not a great description, but you can look into it if you need more info. But that is kind of the gist of it. This mod would be fine if it wasn't for one thing. Just how long it takes to do literally anything. When I say long, I don't mean it like it's a big tedious process where you have to get a bunch of different items and such, no. It's a process where you have to just kind of do one thing and then you just sit there and wait for 3 hours for the next thing to happen. There's a bunch of different kind of flowers that can generate mana in this, and they all do it through different ways. But as far as I know, they're all about the same speed. Again, as I said in the disclaimer, I could be wrong with that, I am an idiot. But every time I've had to use this mod, like in a mod pack for example, it always just takes so long to do anything, no matter what type of flower you use. Even if you have like 18 of these things surrounding your mana pool, it still takes like 4 years of waiting. And even then, the stuff that you get out of it isn't even really that good. It's stuff that's kind of good if you're playing in like 1.7, but if you're playing in modern Minecraft, it's just not anymore. Like the mana steel armor, for example. It takes a decent bit to get, and basically the main appeal of it is that you can heal the durability with mana. Which is why I say this would have been good in like 1.7, but nowadays we just have mending. So there's like no need for that anymore. And the armor itself is equivalent to iron armor. I really just do not like this mod, man, especially when you're playing a mod pack and it requires you to use this mod to progress through it. That's really the only reason why I've ever bothered to even use this mod. Botania is essentially at its core just waiting the mod. And for our next mod, we're going to go with the Journey Map mod. This is a very simple mod that just adds in a little mini-map in the top right of your screen. Now this might seem weird why this is on here, because you're probably like, why do you hate mini-maps? And that's not really why this is here. I don't hate mini-maps at all. In fact, I think they're pretty essential for mod packs. It's the fact there's a much better alternative out there. But for some reason, like every single mod pack insists on using Journey Map. And that better alternative is Zero's minimap. Or I think that's how you pronounce that name, I'm not really sure. You do need to combine it with Zero's world map as well, but it is just so much better than Journey Map in like every way. The map is so much smoother, the way it displays mobs is better. When you go underground, the minimap will change to whatever Y level you're on automatically. Journey Map does not do that. If you want to change the Y level, you have to use the scroller. But even then, it only has like certain preset Y levels it can be on, whereas Zero's will literally just be on whatever Y level you're on. It also has waypoints just like Journey Map does. But for some reason, every single mod pack just insists on using Journey Map, and I genuinely just don't get it. Everything about Zero's is just so much better. And for our next mod, we're going to go with the End Remastered mod. Now, I don't actually know if this mod is actually like generally well liked, but it does have to be somewhat liked. It's in a pretty decent number of mod packs, and it has many downloads on CurseForge. I learned about this mod through a comment on my Making Minecraft Annoying video, and man do I wish I knew about this mod before I made that video, because this would have been a perfect fit. The mod is basically a way to make the getting to the end harder. A lot of people complain about vanilla Minecraft saying that it's way too easy to get to the end, so this mod just aimed to change that. And while I do agree that getting to the end can be very easy in Minecraft, especially nowadays, people could do it in like 10 minutes. This mod doesn't just make it like a little bit harder, it makes it incredibly tedious. It makes it so there's like a bunch of different kind of eyes that you need. Some of them you get through just crafting, and some of them you have to get through finding them in structures. So that's really where my gripe with this mod comes from, is the finding it in structures ones. Specific eyes can spawn in specific structures, but they don't always spawn in those structures. For example, with the Desert Temple eye, you might have to find like 5 or 10 temples before you actually get the eye. I don't think it's good for like making it harder to get to the end. I think it just makes it way too tedious and annoying, which is why I wish I knew about it for that video. I played the Prominence mod pack for a little bit, which contains this mod, and it really made me not even want to bother going to the end. So overall, I get the idea for it, but I really don't think it was executed well. The next one's definitely going to be controversial, but I'm putting the Twilight Forest mod. I don't fully know if this one belongs on here because I do like the mod a lot. It's just so overused in my opinion. It's in literally every single mod pack ever made, and it's always exactly the same. It always has the exact same progression system to it. And because of the progression system, if you need a certain item from a certain boss, you have to kill like all of the previous bosses before you can get to that one. I also just overall think that some of the loot you get from the bosses is just not that great. Sometimes it doesn't even really feel worth it to go through it. It's way better than Botania, but like Botania, it's a mod that I'm really only ever going to actually go through if I have to finish a mod pack. Otherwise, I probably would just completely ignore it. Especially if I was making my own pack. A few years ago, this would be one of the first mods I'd want to add, but now it's just like, I really don't even think I'd care enough to. And next is going to be another really controversial one. This whole video might be controversial, I really don't know. But I'm going to put Applied Energistics 2 here. I assume most of you will know this one, but for anyone who doesn't, it's a storage mod where you can kind of store all of your items in this one little thing. In the modded community, there's a big debate on whether this mod, Applied Energistics 2, is better or another mod, Refined Storage, is better. They're both incredibly similar mods, but they're also very different in their own ways. And I really just prefer Refined Storage. However, I do know that Applied Energistics has a lot more capabilities they can do with it. Refined Storage is pretty much purely just for storing things, whereas Applied Energistics can also do stuff like auto-crafting massive recipes, which can save you a ton of time, and especially it's required if you're playing like a big heavy tech mod pack. Now if you're playing a mod pack like that, you'll definitely prefer AE2 anyway, but at the same time I just really can't. The main reasoning for that is Refined Storage is just so much more simple. With Refined Storage you can set up the system very easily, and it doesn't even take that much power to keep it running. However, with AE2 there's like a million different things you need to do to get it set up. Like, first off, you need to find a big meteor which contains stuff you need. Then you need to make a machine to use the stuff from the meteor to make other things, so you can make more machines. But certain ingredients inside those machines require you to make other machines that you have to make. I swear, like, every single individual item in this needs a different kind of machine to work. Like, it's not complex in a way that, like, it's hard to understand. It's more just complex in a way where it's like, why is it necessary? I need to do all of this. It's just if you want, like, a basic storage system. If you want to just do stuff like AutoCraft, you need to make, like, some big wonky setup like this. And the cables in the mod can only hold like so many channels, so you need to have like 14 different cable systems going. And not to mention the fact that all of the storage disks have these type limits on them, which the type limit is basically just how many unique items you can have in there. So even if your storage drive can hold like 14 million items, it still can only hold 63 different unique ones. Get around this problem using storage buses, which basically allow you to connect a chest into your system. But even then, because of the channel system, you can only have up to 8 in one thing. So you can't actually have more than 8 chests in one channel system. They do have dense cables which can hold 32 channels, but they don't actually work with storage buses, so you can't really do that. And if you want to access your system wirelessly, you have to build like this big quantum ring thing in like multiple dimensions, and that's hard to get. I mean, there is an add-on to this mod called Advanced AE, which makes this stuff a lot more simple, but that's like an add-on to the mod. We're trying to just talk about the base mods here. And not to mention the fact that this mod also has to be unique and have its own unique power system to it. Like every single mod out there that involves power will either use either FE or RF, which are both exactly the same thing, which is great because it makes it so all power mods can be compatible with each other. But Applied Energistics has to be special and use its own power system called AE, which isn't really a problem at all, and most of the stuff will just accept FE anyway, but still it's just like, what's the point? Some stuff will just not accept FE and you need to use these energy acceptor things to convert it, the FE into AE. And it's genuinely just like, why? Like, what is the point of just adding that unnecessary step in there? Again, as I said in the intro, maybe I am just an idiot, which is probably the case, but you know what, for an idiot like me, I'm sorry, but I'm going with Refined Storage. Yes, I know, Applied Energistics will be better long run, but Refined Storage is just so much easier, and honestly, I get bored of mod packs too fast to even get to the point where I need any of that extra auto-crafting stuff like that. Well, anyway, that's gonna have to do it for this video. Again, don't get too mad at me for this video if you hate all my takes, and again, I do give you permission to call me an idiot if I'm just blatantly wrong about some of these things. You can correct me. I don't know exactly what day this video is going to be up on, but it should be close to Christmas, so Merry Christmas, everyone. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys when I upload next. Goodbye.